Will Paulo Costa pull off the upset against Khamzat Chimaev? See who fighters are picking in the latest edition of MMA Pros Pick.
Let's go Costa.
If the fight actually happens, Khamzat. Yeah.
Yeah, man. When Khamzat was out here, I was blown away by the way he's able to blend his striking into his level changes. I held pads for him a couple times, and his speed, his quickness, his accuracy, but his feint game in between, he very much blends his striking into his wrestling. It's hard to catch a rhythm on whether he's going high, low. He does it very, very well. I was very impressed with right away. And then you got the Paulo Costa, who's really a freaking juggernaut. He's a guy that I think once he nullifies a takedown or two, his whole thing is when he gets guys on the barrier. And that was one of our biggest things when Uriah fought. I was like, do not put your back against the cage with this guy, man, because he's a finisher from there. And, I think that's when he gets guys on their back foot and he's able to push forward. That's where Paulo is best. So it'll be interesting to see. Does Khamzat come out and try to wrestle him right away and put him down? Or, are these guys going to strike a little bit and see how it shakes out?
Do you give Khamzat the edge just because of the fight style, or do you think Costa, with him being a mainstay in the weight class, would sort of have the edge in that one?
I gotta give it to Khamzat just because I've seen him in the room. I've trained with him, and this is no knock on Costa. I'm just saying, I've seen what Khamzat's capable of. And then I always side with the guy who has the equalizer in the wrestling. If he can dictate where the fight goes and can put a guy on his back. And then myself and Jeremy Kennedy, we picked his brain a lot, and we'll have series and things that actually in Jeremy's last couple fights, you heard me calling out Khamzat, and we have some codes that we use for what we picked up from him. So I like the way Khamzat applies his ground and pound. I like the way he applies his grappling. He's more of a staple guy, keeps guys pinned down, but uses his ground and pound very, very effectively. He's a ground and pound guy first, submission second guy. So I really like it and enjoy it.
The safe money is on Khamzat, but man, I don't know. Isn't Paulo like a black belt?
I think he is. Yeah, he's pretty good on the ground, actually.
We never really got to see him use his ground that much, so I don't know. I think this fight we could see him use his strength, use his black belt, and kind of stifle the ground game that Khamzat's been using on everybody. But wouldn't be surprised if Khamzat got the win. But I think Paulo might surprise people.
Okay, fair enough. So you're going with Khamzat in that one, you think?
No, I'm going with Paulo.
Oh, you are? Okay, yeah. Good thing I clarified that then.
Paulo. I don't think Chimaev. I think he's losing a strength advantage that he had at 170. Paulo's a big guy. Paulo's got cardio too, and he's got good grappling. He was able to deal with Yoel Romero's wrestling, and he's going to be able to deal with Chimaev's wrestling for sure.
And I think Paulo probably has better striking than Chimaev. We'll see. We haven't seen Chimaev tested too much striking wise other than Gilbert Burns, and I don't think Gilbert Burns has the most technical of striking. And he was able to do a lot to Chimaev.
Chimaev. I'll go with Chimaev. I know it's the favorite, but is that a 3-round fight?
3 rounds, yeah.
Yeah, Chimaev.
That's a very interesting fight. I'm so excited to see, because Khamzat was so dominant as 170 as a welterweight, but he's going up, and Costa is probably one of, if not the biggest guy in that division, and he's strong. So I think Khamzat is not gonna have the size advantage in this fight, and that's gonna kind of mess up his game. Especially Costa's a great grappler. He can weather the storm if they go to the ground. I'm going against the prediction, and I would say Costa wins by decision, because I think Chimaev won't be able to hold up the power, and once he needs to strike, he's not that clean with that.
I'll go Chimaev.
If it happens, I think Chimaev gets the job done. Costa, to me, it's weird, the last couple of fights he's been in, it's like he just doesn't really care to be there, which is an interesting dynamic, I think. And it's kind of strange because he was on such a huge rise before he fought Izzy, that it seems weird. He had the whole weird thing with Vettori where he was like, I'm gonna fight at 190, I'm gonna fight at 195, I'm gonna fight at 200, I'm gonna fight at 205. It changed 6 times the week of. which was super odd to me. And then the Luke Rockhold fight was just weird in general. And Chimaev's young, hungry. You know, he's going to be the smaller guy, but he's not a small guy. Like, I think everyone's a little bit smaller than Costa, but it's not. I think people will be surprised that the size advantage isn't as crazy as you'd think, because I've seen Chimaev in person. He's not a small guy. And I think he has the tools to kind of really stifle Paulo in terms of, you know, it's hard to get taken down and pick that big body up and get taken down and pick that big body up. You know, he obviously has power to knock anyone out, but I don't even know if he'll get to display it. I think Chimaev wins if it happens. Like I said, I'm like 50-50 on if that fight will even take place, but we'll see.
Okay.
Chimaev all day.
Oh man, Chimaev.
I think Chimaev.
That's a good one, man. Honestly, I want to see Chimaev fight, you know, a top 10 middleweight and see how he fares, because the only guy that really has, you know, kind of gave him problems was Gilbert Burns. So Gilbert's a savage, but he's a welterweight. You know, it's a different size human. You know, I've seen him when I cornered Jorge for his fight. I got to actually, like, I've never really been around Gilbert very much. I think that was the first time I've actually been around him. Or no, I think I've been around him before. But I don't know, just seeing him in that element, like when he was fighting, I realized, like, I'm a lot bigger than this guy. I'm a middleweight. I'm a natural middleweight. I just want to see what kind of problems are brought up because Chimaev's going up a weight and fighting bigger humans, you know. So he might not be able to ragdoll guys like he could in the welterweight division. But we'll see. Who knows? Maybe he does. I don't know. I think he's a savage.
Who would you give the edge to in that fight, though, just on paper? You know, because obviously Costa's the mainstay at middleweight. Chimaev kind of going back and forth, right?
I think Chimaev. He's a more well-rounded fighter.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's a tough one. I'll go with Chimaev.
Paulo's got that power. Paulo has shown that he has conditioning for 5 rounds too. Like, he's shown that he can do it, you know. But that being said, he's gonna have to be on a whole nother level of grappling with Chimaev. You know, Chimaev's gonna come out there and just try to. That's what he's gonna do. We all know it. He's not gonna go out there and strike with Paulo. No, he's gonna come out there. Right, first thing he's gonna do is try to grab him and put him on his back and grind him out. So I do think Paulo has that power. So he has to be careful stepping in like he does on those one at 170 pounds. He can't just step in on the guys at 185, because Paulo comes over the top with something. That might be all I wrote. So if I have to say it, I don't want to go against Chimaev, you know. I think Chimaev gets it done. I just think he's going to be a little bit too tenacious. So much tenacity he has, you know, and I think that's going to get it done. So